We know that President Trump now isn't the only one under fire for last week's violent Capitol riots. The New York State Bar Association now taking action against former New York City Mayor and Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani. Today it launched an inquiry into Giuliani's fiery comments he made at the rally just before the siege. Now this comes as the FBI is still trying to track down anybody involved. Now right now, federal agents working 40,000 leads all across the country. There have already been dozens of arrests that we've told you about. News 4's Chris Glorioso in the studio now with where things stand. A lot to cover, Chris.
Natalie, I just got off the phone with Giuliani's attorney. He told me the former mayor's comments just before the riot are being taken out of context and that he too condemns any violence at the Capitol. But tonight, the unthinkable is actually possible. The former mayor and one-time top federal prosecutor in New York City could lose his membership in the state bar.
Please welcome America's Mayor, Rudy Giuliani.
At the rally just before the insurrection, Rudy Giuliani repeated familiar, factless claims about election fraud, and he called for another audit of ballots. Then he said this:
Let's have trial by combat.
It was that phrase that prompted New York's Bar Association president to launch an inquiry that could revoke the former New York City mayor's membership in the state bar.
Following on short order from when he uttered those words, you had a mob descend upon the Capitol and commit the vilest kind of violence that you can imagine, with the loss of life.
And Giuliani isn't the only one accused of inciting the crowd to violence.
Law enforcement is going to have to look at every speaker that spoke at that particular event.
Today is the day American patriots start taking down names and kicking ass.
And then there are those who participated in the riot itself. 5 days after the attack, federal agents continue to look for insurrectionists, including a man seen here using an American flag to beat an officer. Prosecutors have already charged dozens, including rioters dressed in tactical gear who came equipped with zip ties.
To fight not just for their lives, but for the democracy of this country.
The mayor of Washington, D.C. Monday called for expanded security around next week's inauguration of Joe Biden.
If I'm scared of anything, it's for our democracy, because we have very extreme factions in our country.